All right, so welcome to a new YouTube channel, Lord Canucks. Basically, we're going to be giving you guys some gameplay from our store, Geek & Co, that we play at every Sunday. So I'm Mark. I'm joined here by Phil.
What's up?
Who is actually playing the game, so he was kind enough to come and join me for our first video to, I guess, give some insight maybe on what you were thinking, what you did. Your
also to see all the misplays I might have done.
Yeah. Well, honestly, that's a big part of these videos, though, too. Is like, I was actually talking to Ricardo the other day about how he should watch his video that we have of him and I playing, because there's a lot of things that he did as a new red-purple player that it's good for him to see so he can learn from those mistakes kind of thing, you know? So yeah, no, it's okay to make the mistakes, and it's even better to have them on video, especially with some commentary. If we know what we're talking about, then
we hope so.
Yeah, hopefully some learning can happen. So, all right. So in our first video here, it's just a regular Sundays locals. You're playing your Emerald Steel deck that you, of course, are in love with, and you're playing against Gabe, who's on Sapphire Steel. He's new to the game, actually. I think he just started playing in this set, and honestly, like he's done pretty good. He's done really well. I like it. His Sapphire Steel has changed quite a bit over time.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. But now it's kind of become more traditional, as you can see.
Right.
The pieces are falling into place here for him. I think he's also playing Cinderella, though, just like you, like a little spice card in the.
Oh, you mean Big Cinderella?
Yeah, the Big Cinderella. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
The resist +2 is so nice. I mean, all right, yeah. Just to say really quickly, the camera, the screen. I don't know if you can see it, but the screen is shaking a little bit. Mm-hmm. We're still getting used to the placement of the camera and everything. Things will get better. Just we'll have to put up with the shake a little bit, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world.
Not a problem.
I remember that day in the store, actually, your guys' game went a bit over the time, but it was okay because it was the last game, and it was a pretty intense one, I think, too, right?
Yeah,
so,
it was a good back and forth, and ultimately, I believe he did win that one.
All right, so we start here.
But this was the pre-Zan's list, I believe. So
okay.
I was playing the Robin Hoods and a few other different cards. So
it's possible you're playing Chief Bogo also, or not?
Yeah, I don't remember fully, but I believe so.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we've actually talked about this a little bit, your ink decision on turn one. Obviously, you can't really see your hand, so maybe you had to, but the concept, right, of inking...
inking the beast, yeah.
Like inking the big cards, maybe not right away, in case...
Definitely something I've revisited, and at this point, try to keep the beast... the value of having beast for even a turn 5 play later on is... or even like... just shifting him here. I think in this case I was looking at possibly wanting to shift the Diablo over the Beast, but it's I probably should have kept them just to have the options.
Yeah, I feel like maybe if you had, especially if you had both the morphs, right? Maybe just the second morph on turn 1 is a safe ink, since you're definitely inking it on turn 2.
Yeah.
You can see what you draw, and if you absolutely must, because you really want to play the Diablo, then ink the Beast on the second turn. But even then, try to hold on to it if possible. I didn't see what Gabe inked. Did you see what Gabe inked?
No, I think we missed it. That's okay.
Okay, might have been a smash or something. And I saw his hand had T-pose and the one jumps, so not Mickey Mouse, which is interesting. Usually, I like to play one jump with T-pose and Mickey Mouse. Well, I mean, that being said, I'm playing a Blurple list with Chicha and T-pose, and I'm using Mickey as the ramp because of the Chicha, but I don't know. One jump is nice.
I feel like one jump's nicer than Mickey a lot of times.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the freaking fire the cannon. It's like a classic for him, honestly.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how many people are playing.
Blue Steel is playing.
They're playing it again.
Yeah, I've seen a few lists, and they're playing.
They're back on
a good amount of it.
Yeah. Interesting. So you inked the Robin Hood, right? Okay. I guess the Diablo was always the. Did you have a song to discard, I guess?
I did, yeah. I believe I have a Storm in there.
Because honestly, it could even be an interesting... Like, imagine if you just hardcast the Diablo.
Oh, and he just smashed me. Oh, I forgot how bad that felt.
Oh, geez, he had the... I find actually one thing when I play against steel decks, they always have the grab your swords. And when I play against Gabe, he actually doesn't have it that often, but the smash and the fire the cannons are the ones that I have to worry about the most versus
fair.
him.
Yeah. How many grab your swords is he playing?
I don't know. I have to get the deck list. That's another thing. I'm going to try to get deck lists so we can either put pictures up before the videos and do a little deck tag, or just have the deck list in the description or a Dreamborn link or something like that, just so people can see.
Here we can see his hand.
Yeah, a little bit of a glare.
So a Zeus, a Flaversham, a Tipo, and a Mickey.
Flaversham is an interesting card. You ever heard of Hiram Flaversham? The 4 cost 1/6 that draws you cards.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Only if you have items on your board.
See, where you only have your small Diablo in play, I actually don't think I would choose to play the Hiram here. I don't feel like we need the cards right necessarily, and you're not presenting much of a threat that forces me to have to do it. And even if you should discard me once or twice, I'll still have the Hiram to refuel, you know? I feel like with you having only the Diablo in play, I'd be inclined to ramp some more and maybe play that Smee that he inked. Like, you know, like ink the Tipo, kind of, play the Mickey for ramp, and then play the Smee, present some serious lore threat, and then refuel the following turn with the Hiram. Of course, if you were presenting discard, sorry to jump.
No.
If you're presenting discard, I would play the Hiram just to have more cards, but yeah, in this situation. But anyways.
No, I agree with you. I think having no threats on board, you know, I mean, like, that allows you to kind of ramp before you have to play the Hiram to draw.
Actually, we can kind of also see a little bit of punish on your end, right? Where you had to pass the turn on turn 5 with 3 ink, whereas you inked in Robin Hood and a Beast could have been...
Exactly, yeah. So I've definitely revisited that mentality, and it's definitely been better.
Right, because now, I guess now you would have, instead of the Cove, you would have Robin Hood or Beast in play, kind of?
Yeah, potentially.
Now, of course, if it was the Beast... Gabe has the Zeus.
The Zeus, yeah.
But, like, you know, whatever.
But then again, if I had kept the Robin Hood and I saw the Zeus in his hand, I could have played it.
Oh,
and
true.
It would have been fine.
Yes, that's
anyways,
true.
so.
You did see it with the Diablo the turn prior. Yeah. You see, even the inking the Pete, I guess because he wants to just play the Mickey Mouse. Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like the Pete would be more relevant, and also it's 3 damage to attack into that Cove, you know? Or even just kill your Diablo before you shift it and it becomes evasive.
Yeah, I agree. I think there was moments I found playing against him, if I remember correctly, where it felt as though he was inking just because it was maybe something he had to do.
As opposed to maybe not necessarily.
Right, because if you're playing Tipo and a Mickey, you know, especially against like a bit of a discard deck, green steel kind of discard deck, I don't think you necessarily want to remove too many cards from your hand. Yeah.
And especially at the cost of a Pete, which is pretty effective versus you.
Yeah.
Well, he wouldn't have been able to kill the Cove if he played the Pete. But imagine the Smee the turn earlier, right? So he would have had the Smee in play and the Pete. That's the 6 damage needed to kill the Cove, and then his Zeus kills your Beast. You know what I'm saying? So, interesting. But, I mean, this is still a lot of lore pressure.
Yeah, but I think it also, you can see from this too, like, playing the Hiram it drew him 2 cards, but now it's not doing much.
Yeah, he only had the 1 item.
Right, so it's just sitting there, and that's maybe not what you want with Hiram.
Did he just flash grab your swords? I think he might have inked the Zeus with the Tipo, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I think that is a big part of these card games, is kind of anticipating what your opponent's going to play next. So I feel like I would have held on to that Zeus no matter what, especially seeing a green steel deck, just so that if I do see a Beast or you know, or anything else, even you know, like a Clarabelle, a Beast, or a Robin Hood, at least in this case, he could have even sung it with the Hiram.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a world where you ever just put the Zeus into the Beast, even though it doesn't kill it, just to prevent the card draw. I don't know if that's necessary. Maybe he's just feeling good with all the characters he has on board, plus the almost impossible to kill location.
It could be, but
oh, interesting.
The Beast draw just is too strong, I think.
So you chose Flaversham there with the Storm Rage on.
Yeah, I think it's more PTSD about having him draw cards.
Oh, okay, well.
I guess on the other side of.
I guess at any point.
Yeah, I've been on the other side of that matchup where you lose because you draw. The other opponent draws so much with Hiram. You know, top deck Possicle, play Possicle.
Yeah.
Quest with Hiram, draw 3 in 1 turn for one mana is. Or
Yeah,
sorry,
that's
one,
true.
1 ink.
Yeah, 1 ink. At any point, right, he just rips any item off the top.
Yeah.
And Blue Steel is known to have a bit more items than...
Yeah, so that was my fear, but
Yeah, there it is. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh.
Look at that. Look at that. You know? Look at that.
oh wow, yeah, here he plays the
Now that's...
hook to block the damage off the Smee.
Oh, right. Also put some... it threatens your location, no?
That is true. Yeah.
What did you attack with the Diablo? His Tipo?
His Tipo.
Oh, interesting. You didn't choose the location? Any reason?
I feel like in my mind, I think the location's strong, but having the Beast out is like, especially as a 4/6 right now, I'm not too worried. And I don't remember what I had in my hand, but I don't know. It didn't feel. I think I just didn't feel too worried about the location necessarily. Like I felt in my mind it was like remove the threats, then just deal with the location.
Location. So Gabe, absolutely not respecting the hidden cove at all.
I think that was a big part of these games too. Is I kept seeing him just completely ignoring the hidden cove, whereas I think we know nowadays you got to get rid of that thing as soon as it comes down.
Yeah, I mean, the quote unquote little value it provides is actually quite significant.
Yeah. Oh, here comes the Tink.
You can still ink too, I think, right?
Yeah.
Oh, what's this? Oh, the Bibbities. Yeah. Yeah, so you're going to bounce the... Oh, I think I remember you in the store saying... So the way this works... I remember those words, actually. Yeah. Just bounce. So now this is me. Yeah, it'd be really nice, though, if... Yeah, I guess... Okay, interesting. Yeah, now you just have to kind of hope he doesn't put the Mickey into the Beast. It's probably just the best thing for him to do, right? Is just damage the Beast. I believe
so, yeah. But again, I remember he did... I believe in this case he just didn't. But again, I think it's just sometimes when you're a bit of a newer player and you don't see maybe too many games against certain cards, you kind of don't know how strong they might get. But yeah, Beast, definitely. I think Cove should have been gone by now, and the Beast definitely should have had some sort of damage put on it.
Okay, yeah, so here, he quested. Well, I mean, he is at 11, right? So he's at 11, he's got 2 locations. I mean, you can kill one of them at least right now, because you've got... he put the Tinkerbell in the... Yeah, I mean, you can kill the Montanui. Right, so I mean, I guess...
Montanui is what, 4?
I don't even know, honest to God. I think Gabe even took it out of the deck after this match, or after this day. I don't think he plays it anymore. I mean, it's always nice to put your own kind of spice into decks and stuff, but it is understandable how at some point you just kind of get towards where the deck
I think, as we were just talking about earlier, that blue just has so many options that are very good that, playing certain cards might just not be productive.
I actually really love that small Clarabelle. I think she's really good.
She was very strong, yeah.
And then just ink her if she has no purpose. But even shifting, oh my goodness, I'm actually in a really I'm in a deep state of love right now with Clarabelle and Diablo. I just want to make decks just to put them into everything.
So here I put the Tink into the Cove, and with the Beast I took out the McDuck.
Oh shit, that's true, because the Tinkerbell becomes a 5 attack, right? So her and the Beast do kill the...
Yeah.
Gee, I don't even know why I was thinking about her being only being 4 in the Cove. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. It's okay. We'll survive. But yeah, I guess he's just pushing, right? He just wants to push the lore.
Yeah. But
I think it gave you enough chance to build such a...
Well, again, I think it just the beast constantly drawing, even though he's exerted, is just giving me more of the answers that I need.
Yeah. Do you remember if he made any comments about how he should be attacking?
I believe afterwards, I do remember him at some point saying that that beast gives you a lot of value. So I think, yeah, definitely. Like I said, you play a few games against it, and it you see how much draw you get from it, and then you understand that it just has to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What you got in your hand? Is it a Cinderella? Looks like it might be yeah. Oh, what's that? What's that? What's that?
Is that a
What's that?
Toronto DLC Cinderella?
Yes.
Unfortunately, not the foil, but
That's okay.
it's still beautiful.
Yeah, of course it is.
And I believe that's the reason why I still put it into these decks to this day, is to deal with the Cogsworth, just in case they want to leave the Cogsworth on the board. And not exert him.
That's true. You've been having some fun times dealing with Cogsworths in the past, huh?
Oh, they play their part, I think.
So I guess you felt good enough about the number of cards that Beast has drawn you that, and also I guess he's shown you that he's not trying to attack into it. So just start gaining your lore.
Exactly. At this point, I figure he can't do much to my board necessarily. So I'll have to, so I can just start questing away. And most likely he's going to quest with the Cogsworth.
Yeah, I mean he is actually really close, right? I mean he's really close. But now your Cinderella, I think, just puts too much.
Yeah, the Cinderella, I think, gave me the win, most likely.
I mean, it can be argued that your Beast not being attacked is what gave you the win. Yeah,
that's very true. Yeah, I mean, again, drawing 2 cards again here. It's just
Oh, he didn't even quest with the Cogsworth. Jeez. Okay, so considering all the decisions that Gabe has made in terms of questing versus attacking, it would be highly consistent to have quested that turn. I actually can't imagine the reason for not questing. I would like to know. So if Gabe watches, I'm curious to know if there's any insight into.
Yeah. So you see here, I quested with Clarabelle, attacked. Played a song on my own Clarabelle just to be able to take out his Cogsworth with my Cinderella.
Yeah, but I think you got a little bit too excited there because. Why the hell wouldn't you just shoot your Cinderella, which has resist, instead of killing your Clarabelle?
I didn't even think about that.
I mean, good play and everything in terms of just singing the song, playing the song.
It's probably because I just had it in my head from a previous turn. That's what I was gonna do. But you're right. Yeah. Well, that's why we watch these videos afterwards. Grab.
I mean, it is what it is, but it's obviously too late at this point, right? This is one of those learn from your mistakes kind of games and go to game 2, right? I think.
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, because I just quest for 9 next turn. And
Yeah. It's a little bit of salt in the wounds there with that Tinkerbell, but it's okay.
Just in case he plays a Be Prepared.
Yeah, in case he Be Prepared. I'm actually going to say the same thing. All right. Game 2. Let's do it. Okay, so interesting. Typically speaking, how do you feel is your matchup versus Blue Steel? Like, let's say if you're playing you're playing, like when you were in Toronto at the DLC, or even just in general, playing with Cammy, let's say,
I think playing against Blue Steel, they seem to ramp, but they don't seem to play as many cards, I find, at the beginning as like Blue Red would. They just seem a little, in my mind, generally they seem a little slower on the board development at times, but having Hiram generally in their deck is where I find the games switch. So it's more, if they can draw Hiram, if they can get to 5 ink quickly, play Hiram, and the next turn play Tinkerbell or something like that, or a second Hiram, or not Hiram, I keep saying Hiram, sorry. Wow. I meant Cogsworth. To me, Cogsworth is their big game changer. So, so if they can ink quickly, get Cogsworth, play Cogsworth on 5, then play Tinkerbell. Yeah, it's definitely difficult to deal with their board at that point. So, but I do find, like I said, they are a bit slower in the board development. So I'm not generally too afraid at the beginning. It just comes down to, if you can outpace them, I guess if you're playing more of an aggro deck, can you outpace them? Or if you're playing, like in this case, a green steel discard, can you just discard most of their hand before they get any big players out on board?
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Although that I did play against one during these Mirabelle championships, and I have to say, my opponent at one point put out the Ariel, the 4/3. I think she's a 6-cost uninkable 4/3 with Ward.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And if they already have Cogsworth out, it's just like, I don't know how you deal with that board at that point. And then she just quests for 5 every turn. It's like,
right, with the Ward too, it's pretty insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you need exactly Cinderella, which some decks aren't even playing, right? Which you just happen to have.
Yeah, it's again, I feel like that matchup. You at some point you need to you need to decide when you're starting to just quest.
Well, maybe that turn is turn 1. Maybe you just have to be the aggressive player right away. Don't try to control anything. Just go.
Yeah, it's possible. Again, I think it depends on the deck a bit. Like in terms of green steel discard, which is what we've been mainly playing, it's harder to go aggressive at the beginning, just because they do have a good amount of removal with their 1-cost fire the cannons. So they play smashes, so they do have a good amount of removal. So you do have to kind of place a little slower too. That seems like a interesting hand.
No small Diablo.
No, unfortunately not.
Yeah, his hand looks pretty good too.
Yeah.
Quill on 3, but he's got Tipo. Even so, you can even Zeus on, like, if you morph and then shift, he's got.
Yep. It's always interesting to think, like, when you see your hand, if you see your opponent's hand. That's why I like seeing my opponent's hand with the small Diablo. Oh yeah, I played the Cove. Is because sometimes you see a really good hand, and then just watching them what they ink, I think is really interesting. As you're
for
playing.
sure.
Yeah, because sometimes you'll be like, oh, I would keep that.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't ink that, but it's.
I mean, inking is for sure one of the most challenging things in the whole game.
Yeah.
If you a wrong ink on the first turn can 100% cost you the game. Like, you might lose game. You being anybody might lose games and be frustrated because you don't understand what went wrong. You did so well, but there's a card you could have inked 2 turns in a row, 1 turn ago, 5 turns ago that cost you the whole game. You might not even be thinking about it.
I mean, I'm curious here what he's gonna put into his inkwell with Tipo.
Maybe one of the storms. Yeah, I don't know.
Unfortunately, we didn't see it.
We won't be able to see.
But again, I think that's where blue. Whenever I play against blue, it's I find it's even more difficult for them because it's like all your ramp cards, Tipo, even just playing the Mickey Mouse, you don't know what went into your inkwell, and it's like, yeah, you're ramping pretty quickly, but sometimes you might just get rid of that one card that would have really mattered. So it's definitely a hard choice.
Yeah, but I think there's something to be said about redundancy, though, for cards like Mickey Mouse or One Jump, which then by extension, like I was even talking about in the group chat, Ariel or the Robin Hood Sharpshooter or the Queen, where you don't actually need to worry too much about these cards that get discarded or sent to the bottom of the deck or thrown into your inkwell if your deck is built with 3 and 4 of almost everything.
All right.
Because the idea is with all the digging you're doing or just natural draws, you're going to see these cards again. Of course, if you're playing 1 dime or 2 dimes, stuff happens. It is what it is. But ultimately, I think the redundancy aspect, that I play 4 of this, 4 of that, 4 of that, make it so that when you play cards like Ariel and Robin Hood and One Jump and Mickey, it's not the end of the world when those cards disappear or you lose them, so to speak. I may have already asked this question, but have you ever heard of Hiram? So I guess he had it again, but this time on turn 3, right? Like the perfect, actually pretty perfect, right? Turn 1 Popsicle, turn 2 Tipo, turn 3 get the 4th ink and play Hiram for the draw.
Yeah.
It's quite nice, and he gets under your Diablo also.
Which is, I think, why I played the small Clarabelle, because I figured if you had it, like I had to play something on turn 2, I didn't have anything, and holding on to her for turn 3 messes with my Diablo being coming out, and if he had Hiram, he was gonna play it anyways. And
okay, here's actually a common mistake I want to just talk about right away. There was no reason to ink anything this turn before playing his Fortisphere. Worst case scenario, you have the Fortisphere to ink.
Yes.
But best case scenario, you draw something off of the Fortisphere, which you would much prefer to ink, and then you have the next Fortisphere for your following turn for more Hiram triggers.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I think if you can draw before you ink, generally that's a much better,
absolutely.
line than just like having to have inking before you draw.
But and it's not even just inking too. It's just making decisions, right? If you know for sure that you're playing a card that says draw or look at the top X cards of your deck, you should always get the information before you make any decisions. Yes. The more information you have, the better turn you can definitely create.
I mean, there's a lot of moments in Green Steel where I'll choose to, if I know I'm gonna sing the Let the Storm Rage On, I'll sing it before I ink, just to see what I draw. Like maybe I want to keep that extra beast in my hand, or and sometimes maybe you'll draw just like a small Diablo or something that's you're definitely not going to play. So,
did you forget to draw a card?
It's possible.
I don't know how long it's been your turn. Maybe I've been
it just switched over to me.
I feel like you just played a card from your hand.
I might have drew that Ursula and inked her, but
I'll have to. Oh, you think like he was all like one motion? You think?
Possible, yeah.
Game inking before drawing. I mean, it's not the end of the world necessarily, but it's definitely a big deal. I would say. I would definitely keep that in mind. Everybody who is playing or listening or watching, or even Gabe himself if he watches this. Yeah, it's happened in Magic. It's happened in Pokemon, even whatever. Name the Hearthstone. Name the game where you do something and then the last action you take is to draw. Oh, what's that?
My favorite card.
Yeah, the Cogsworth.
But you see, this is what I'm saying. Like here, this is where usually I find blue steals. The momentum changes for them. So once they get that Cogsworth out, it's tough.
I mean, for Steel specifically, right? I mean...
Yeah, agreed. But I think even for Red, like, they can't, with the ward, they can't target it too much.
But I guess killing the other characters is not as difficult right now. Like, this card's only going to deal one. Yeah, I see you helped him, which is nice, of course.
Gotta play fair.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there is the thing, right, where it is up to both players to maintain the blah, 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 all that stuff, right?
Yeah. I think that's what's the fun part of the Lorcana community.
Yeah. Definitely a kind community. Damn, my God, it's unbelievable. That thing should be dead, right? Oh, my God, it feels really bad to go through all that. Sing and exert ink, and the fucking thing is still alive.
Yeah.
How do you feel about those character choices to represent the colors? Do you think those are pretty accurate? Would you replace any of those? Mim, Fox, Diablo, Medusa? The Stinkerbell, the Toe, and,
I think they're all pretty much, I think these are classic characters that any one of those colors pretty much plays at any point.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like for Amber, Daisy's a pretty close contender now.
I worry about picking aggro cards just because I feel like those are the ones that are the most easily power crept or swapped out. I don't know why. It's a strange feeling.
I think that's where I saw his grab your swords and my heart sunk a little bit.
Well, it's okay. At least you have the Cove. Oh, but he just kills the Cove if he really wants to wipe your board. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah. I mean, it's kind of rough, but yeah. And you can even sing it with the Cogsworth too, right? That thing can not only has resist, No, it gives resist +1. It has ward.
Yeah, so there he goes.
He did sing it. But
yeah, I agree. I think he 100% should have attacked the Cove and then sung to wipe my board.
Well, I guess he couldn't sing and attack, right? Because he has to use the Cogsworth to kill the...
Oh, I mean, well, he should have just attacked the Cove, which would have... He would have taken out the Cove there and then just played the
just play Grabber Swords, yeah. Which I think is okay, too. You don't have any other characters on board, so it's not like the...
No, he has so many cards in his hand right now that...
Is it possible we do an undo?
No, actually, I think what it was here is he didn't realize that with the Cove out, the characters don't get sent to the discard because of the +1 health.
Oh, even though they have the damage on them? Yeah, of course, because they're 3 health. We gotta change this table. This glare is bothering me, you know?
I
can only imagine.
Yeah. Well, I'll just make it easier, too, for commentary and just future videos.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it doesn't. It almost doesn't even. It almost feels, even though it's 3 ink to 0, it almost feels like it doesn't matter anymore what Gabe does. You know.
Yeah, the Cogsworth's really oppressive. I think in my head, I'm hoping for either a Tinkerbell or a Cinderella at this point. I think that's why I'm still inking, even though I only have 3 cards in my hand here, but.
There is actually something to be said about what playing a card like Cinderella encourages, and that's inking going to 7 ink. Because you're more inclined to ink a card that maybe you shouldn't necessarily ink because you want to. I wonder.
Well, I mean, to some degree, I find Cinderella, like especially with Steel, if you're playing Tinkerbell, generally Tinkerbell's just a really good card, so you're gonna ink to 6 no matter what, and then there's just a moment of like, well, do I hold on to something inkable just in case I top deck her? But yeah, I guess I generally wouldn't go to 7, if I didn't have to. I would stick around 6 with Green Steel because you don't really need to go higher.
But I mean, there's also the thing where you can just go to 6 and then don't ink until you find the Cinderella.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it just means you do have to hold on to an inkable card.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you've drawn cards at that point, or you've got extra cards. I mean, of course, if you're in top deck mode, then it feels bad. Oh yeah, no, fuck. That's so annoying.
Yeah, the Cogsworth, he's so strong.
But good use of the Diablo. That little Diablo did a lot of work. Like the information is already huge, and then I think it killed a thing or two, and then it took a grab your sword and. Yeah, so the way the Cove works, right? Should it die here, the Diablo will register the fact that it has 2 damage on itself, and it will die. So
yeah, exactly.
Probably within Gabe's best interest to do right away. But with which character? That is the question.
It does get tough at some point when you have too many cards in your hand. It's what is the right play, you know? And sometimes I find when you have so many cards in your hand, it's you maybe focus on like 1 or 2 that you really want to get out, and you might not necessarily see the other ones that are also just as good. Like we saw here, he just pulled it back to play the McDuck Manor. The Pete.
Interesting because I mean I guess now if the plan is definitely I think the plan is to kill the Cove. That gotta be the plan. So but I'm gonna say if the plan is kill the Cove, then that does make the McDuck Manor stronger, obviously, right? Because
yeah, well, I gotta try to clear his board and then the McDuck Manor.
Yeah, and also my God, the Cogsworth is just Tinkerbell is so powerful, but. Even if he exposes the Pete, which he should, because you kill one of them, the 2 damage can't even kill the hook.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I think it's just me explaining to him how the Cove works.
Yeah, I mean, it probably explains how why the grab your sword sequence happened the previous turn. Just lack of new to the game, lack of
yeah. Well, you make the mistake once, and then you learn from that.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Is he gonna quest with? Is he gonna open up his Cogsworth here? I forget. Oh, he chooses to open the Cogsworth.
Well, interesting. Are you gonna go right for it? Yeah.
I can't let it live.
Yeah. So, I mean, put 2 damage on your character, please, Mr. Phillip.
Yeah, I think I forgot to do that.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
So, when we do the Magic commentary for our old school group, the excuse we use when these things happen is that everyone's drinking because it's late at night, so it's after work and they're drinking and everything, and just a bunch of old men trying to play Magic. So it's okay, it's all that stuff. What's our excuse for Disney? It's Sunday.
You're having too much fun. And keeping all the. You're singing all the Disney songs in your head as you're playing. So he puts both.
Yeah, honestly, it's almost never a favorable trade when you have to kill Tinkerbell, but that's just the thing. You have to kill Tinkerbell.
I mean, especially if you're playing the big Mufasa.
Yeah. Well, that's a big one.
Yeah, that one's.
Which method did you guys use for the random? Did you just pick 2 random ones?
I think generally I just pick 2 for Mufasa. I don't always roll.
Yeah,
I think for we don't talk about Bruno, I like to roll. But for Mufasa, I just pick randomly.
I was playing actually in the set championship, and someone's turn 8. My opponent's turn 8 was just Mufasa, so play Mufasa, pull back 2 cards, and it was just my turn. I had Dragonfire, and it was just kind of rough.
It's a little rude.
I'm really happy to be playing Dragonfire again. I'm just playing with Robin Hood, so Robin Hood can hit it for free. So
that's a great card, right? You just banish anything.
Yeah,
it's basically basically a mini Be Prepared in a way. Almost, you can look at it that way.
I won't. Sorry, but I won't. No, not to be too aggressive there. Yeah, I can't. But it's super strong. Like it obviously stops being played just because efficient cards like what's it called, Brawl and Medusa, which even though they have conditions, still prove to be more than sufficient for the metas and stuff like this. But whatever, especially with a card like Robin Hood, which can play it for free, it gives more incentive to bring it back.
I agree. I think Robin Hood definitely gives it some boost.
Okay, so Hiram, again, first of all, already by itself would put a lot of pressure on you with the location, the McDuck Manor, that gives him 2 lore every turn at 9 health.
Yeah.
But then this Mufasa now, which is going to quest for 3 and then ready as ink.
It's quest for 4.
Four, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then ready to ink.
At this point, you pretty much know the game's over.
Yeah, I think it's almost crazy to think that a game might not end favorably for the Mufasa player if they get to get their turn back. If a whole turn cycle occurs, and they can do this, especially drawing the extra cards from Hiram.
Yeah, it's a brand new turn here, basically.
Oh, damn, that glare is really crazy. So that's a Smee, I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
It's just like you're just dodging Tamatoas and dimes. Like, can you imagine, right? Now, if you played Dime, and then he would have ink for Dime plus activate and get 4 more lore, go to 18, just pretty much win for sure next turn. But It probably is already the case.
How many Mufasas does Blue Steel generally
I don't
play?
think they play any.
No,
Well, I don't think they play any.
Little spice that he put in.
Yeah. But I'm super high on Mufasa. I mean, people I'm sure have studied reasons for why Mufasa is not being played in decks, but I think that card is one of the strongest in the game. I just legitimately believe it to be one of the strongest in the game. So,
yeah, I think I just say that's game here because I didn't draw any spells.
Yeah, you know, just to say, it's like Diablo's the kind of card where you must answer because the card advantage can be crippling or can be scary, and if you don't answer right away, they draw a card and that hurts, and then they draw a second card that hurts even more. Mufasa is the kind of card that says if you don't answer, you just lose, like you straight up lose the game. Like the game is just not 100% of the time, but
it's basically a fifth of your lore every time you quest, plus you get to play two turns.
It's the only, in Magic it's called Time Walk, right? Take an extra turn after this. Are there any other Time Walk effects in the game, really?
Not yet, no.
I mean, it's not a true Time Walk effect, but it might, it's effectively...
Yeah.
It says take another turn, and...
Oh, yeah.
It's terrifying. It's terrifying.
Oh, yeah. I think that's where knowing your opponent's deck ahead of time could be very beneficial. So if you know that they're playing a Mufasa, or at least maybe assuming that you need to assume that they are, then you can maybe hold on to something in your hand to deal with it. But if you have zero idea, which I'm pretty sure I didn't know he was playing it, you lose. You just...
Well, also, Emerald Steel does have a difficulty in dealing with the big-bodied characters, like Tamatoa and stuff like this.
Right, yeah.
So...
And I believe in this version of it, I was only playing maybe 2. We don't talk about Bruno's.
Okay, so even less. Yeah.
Now that I've switched over to the Zan's list, having the 4, I think even at one point I dropped to 3 in that list, but before set championships, and then I was looking at it and I'm like, no, it's like, we don't talk about Bruno. It just allows you to remove anything.
That was Ursula's return, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting because I remember in set 2, the Pappy deck, the red blue Pappy. So first of all, R.I.P. Pixelborn. Like that thing was still going from a long back in the day, and I actually used that Pappy deck, just as a side note, to finally break into Platinum, which was like monumentous for me. It was an amazing time.
I remember you telling me how you had like 22 ink at one point.
Just
laughing to yourself.
Yeah. Anyways, so moving on. But yeah, so I remember that Pappy deck. It had what the hell? Shit, I don't remember exactly what it had, but the idea being was you could either go... An early variation was playing Ariel. Mm-hmm. Okay, no, I'm sorry. I'm confusing things. Pre-Pappy, there was a red-blue Ariel Maurice deck that was trying to be combo-y, but there wasn't enough stuff for it yet, which then it eventually became Pappy because that was actually a doable combo. Yeah. The point is that Maurice Ariel deck played Ariel for combo, but it also had the Tamatoa, no Dime yet, because Dime was Inklands, I think. And it was just, the mentality was, if you're playing against Steel, you just ignore Ariel, and you just play Tamatoa, because how is Steel dealing with it? I'm pretty sure Zeus didn't even exist at the time. Right?
Well, Zeus came in Inklands.
Yeah. So you really had to have a super Strength of the Raging Fire.
Yes. Yeah.
So
go wide and hopefully just.
So Bruno changed a lot of things because straight up you just had no way of dealing with X7s, X8s.
Well, even Zeus to some degree definitely changed a lot of stuff with Inklands. It was a good answer for a lot of characters, but I guess being uninkable hurts it a bit, whereas with we don't talk about Bruno. It's
you can only think. Yeah. But also, it helps deal with those cards, but you're still 2 for 1-ing yourself, right?
Yeah.
I mean, sure, if it already has damage on it, which is unlikely, and then you have strength, let the Storm Rage on, you draw a card too, so it's not entirely 2 for 1, but I guess a lot of hoops to jump through, right?
Yeah.
All right, so game 3.
Yeah.
Gabe got his justice. His hand looked pretty good from what I saw. You again with your Robin Hood ink on turn 1.
Hey, why? I'm just noticing. Why does he have a Cogsworth out on the left side there?
I think he had taken it out of his deck at some point. Was it always there?
I don't know. I just noticed it now.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, but it is out of his sleeve though, so it's not like he.
You see here, I had to ink. Maybe I didn't have to,
again.
but for some reason I inked the Robin Hood. Maybe I have a second one in my hand. I'm not quite sure.
But still,
always the turn one possible play.
Yeah. But to me, I find a big deal with these Emerald Steel decks is their curve, and in the sense that you get to your turn 5 and you can go Robin Hood, turn 6 Beast, turn 7 Tinkerbell. So even if you have a second one, maybe that's okay to keep it.
That's generally my thought process recently. Has been just to hold on to it because a lot of times I've learned to respect that as you're progressing in the game, the other player has to ink more. So unless they just get really good draws, with say the Popsicle and the Hiram, and they just constantly refill their hand. But generally speaking, even then they still generally try to ink. So they are getting rid of cards as you're progressing. So if you just put down a threat and then they kind of answer that threat and then you put down another threat, the chances of them having another answer is reduced. And then on top of that, if you just top deck another answer after that, it's like, there's moments where you can see even strong decks like, red, blue just kind of not have an answer like after 3 consecutive turns. Like they the chances of them having it are there, but not always.
It would feel pretty bad here if he has the Zeus in his hand.
That would be fair, but
ink to 4, poke your dude.
But you see, that would be my question: is it better to Hiram in this case, or to Zeus and take it out with Tipo? Attack Tipo, take it out with Zeus. It's like,
if I saw my opponent ink a Robin Hood on turn 1, I would go all in on killing that second one.
Oh, that's fair, right?
Especially since you morphed it too, so it's you're getting 2 for 1 again.
Yeah,
and then follow and then follow up with the Hiram.
Yeah,
take away your Singer.
Okay, no, that's fair. Yeah.
But then see, like then on the flip side, if that happens, right? Hindsight 2020, it would be less punishing if in 2 turns you were dropping the second one.
Right. Yeah. I guess also in this case, like if he Zeus's with the Tipo and takes out the Robin Hood, and the next turn I just play a Diablo or something. It's like it's a little more punishing. It's like maybe holding on to that Zeus would be more beneficial for a card like Diablo.
So I don't think it's typical of Blue Steel. So the game, I was gonna say I don't think it's typical that Blue Steel plays Let the Storm Rage on. So that is like a spicy card that you're seeing in Gabe's list in this version of the deck, but that feels bad for you, right? You can almost say Blue Steel, quote unquote, not supposed to play Let the Storm Rage on,
right?
And then it's just so good here, right?
Yeah.
Because then you're seeing exactly like the way you get punished with him Zeusing your Robin Hood is that then he has that card for your Diablo, right? So it's
exactly, yeah.
But
the answer is always there, but
I
guess that's true. I think Smash has been more prevalent. I think I've seen from the cards I've seen in Blue Steel recently, it's been Smash, a good amount of Fire the Cannons, the Zeus's. I think I even played against a Purple Steel deck recently this past weekend, and he was playing I think 4 Zeus's, 3 Smashes. I believe it was even 3 Fire the Cannons. Like he was all in on just removing early game.
I've always been a huge fan of Smash. I don't think that card ever stopped being good.
I agree with you. I think, generally speaking to you about it, I've changed my mind about it too. It's like, especially now with the Cove being a thing and Diablo getting into the Cove, it's like, but during the Bucky meta, Baboom was more prevalent to some degree. But now we're seeing a lot more Cove, and it's just, it's pretty strong to be able to just deal 3 damage to something and have it being inkable. If only it was able to be sung, that would be...
Well, Christ, I think that you're talking about a legendary. No, it wouldn't be legendary. That's crazy. Yeah, keep questing. Might as well. If you didn't have the Zeus last turn, you shouldn't have it this turn.
Yeah. I think it felt good to play the Pete and be like, haha, do you have an answer?
Yeah, and you can't even. Oh, good God. And
there's the Hiram with the draw. And
but, honestly, I'm not, too sad as much as it hurts because, they do still think you're advantageous on board here.
Yeah, the Robin Hood's pretty strong at the moment.
Now that small Clarabelle again would be really strong here to take away his next turn's draw.
Yeah.
I don't think, just in case that the small Clarabelle, 1 cost, 1/2, you can pay 2 extra when it enters to destroy something. Right? Visions of the Future.
Yeah.
Interesting. So again, another card you don't typically see.
We see a Smash, a Tipo, a Hook, a Mickey, and...
Ooh, was that a Lucky Dime? What was the first card?
I believe it was a Smash.
Oh, he wants his actions. Wait. Didn't you play Pete?
I did, yeah.
Doesn't it stop all actions?
Oh.
So he should have been able to vision?
Yeah, I guess. I guess both of us didn't catch that. Maybe.
Yeah. That's actually a pretty big deal, I think, actually. The ability to do that this turn and prepare himself for next turn is actually massive. Instead of having to use his ink next turn. I wonder if that's what you're discussing, or
it's possible. Yeah, I guess unfortunately it's been a few weeks since this, but it's possible afterwards we both realized, and then but since this was a fairly casual game, we let it slide.
Yep.
Yeah. It's important to remember which cards do what. So yeah, he took a Smash from that. It looks like. So he has a Zeus, a Smash.
Oh. It's all damage, my God. Let the Storm John grab your swords, Zeus, Smash,
and the Sisu.
And the Sisu. So
nobody has the Hiram to be able to draw 2 more extra. So he's in a pretty good spot right now.
He's got a lot of good cards in his hand. The thing, honestly, not trying to argue for Sisu, the 2/4 from the second set in this deck at all, but I think that card is way underrated. I don't even want to hear about Brawl and Medusa. Okay, I just think that Sisu card is really, I think it's really good. First of all, I mean, the dragon, it's a hero. It's a hero which is extremely relevant.
There we go. That was a fun turn for me, spicy turn.
You were able to grab your swords and Zeus?
And Zeus, Hiram to prevent the draw. Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, I was going to say, you definitely had to...
I should have inked that smaller Ursula. Yeah.
When?
I just...
you shouldn't have, or you...
I should not have.
Oh.
Seeing on this view of it and seeing how many songs he has, it was like, I should have just kept the Ursula.
Yeah, I don't know. That's Sisu quest for 2, I think, too, right? She quests for 2, 4 health, quest for 2. She wasn't played in set 2 because Fox was everywhere. It's still played in the purple decks. Not saying it's not everywhere, but
there's more variations out there now. So
there's more people playing different color decks than just red purple. So I think it's time to revisit Sisu, the water dragon.
Sisu, I remember one of the set championships I was playing against somebody who was playing I think 2 or 3 of the 2/4 Namaris. The legendaries.
Oh, the one that can attack readied characters?
Yeah, so he was playing a green purple deck, or green, no, it was green steel, maybe? I don't know. What is she? She's a steel card, I believe, right?
What, Namari?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's steel.
Yeah, so he was playing a green steel, but like a weird green steel. It was a weird deck, that's all I remember.
I think there's so much room in this game for brewing and different decks.
Yeah.
Even if you use 60% or 40%, 30%, whatever of established decks, there is still so much room to do stuff. Just people are so afraid to experiment because they see something that works and they just kind of stick with it. So that's kind of all we end up seeing. But I don't know. You can be a bit brave. Oh, that's Gabe pointing at that Cinderella for.
I feel like he might be saying, I think he wish he had her in his deck right now.
Seems like... you see, so I think you should have just quested there, no? Instead of attacking? Or do you feel because you would have, if you attack, you lose your character anyways, and then he gets to keep one, now you get to kill both of them?
Yeah, exactly. I think in my mind it was more just, the one lore versus taking out the extra character. Yeah, that was a rough turn for me. I think I inked and did nothing else and attacked, and that was it.
Because okay, that's pretty rough. Yeah, shit. Yeah, that's pretty huge.
Yeah.
But see, even the inking, right? Like, was there a need to ink at this point?
I don't remember. Well, I guess we'll see in a second. Maybe I was trying to build up to something here.
Rip Cinderella.
Either that or a Tinkerbell. Or,
oh my god.
Or a Clarabelle. That's what it is.
But does he have any cards in his hand?
He does have one. So, and I was
he's got 3.
He's got 3 cards. All right, yeah. So that's
all
pretty good.
Okay, but see, interesting. Like at the cost of the, now I guess this kills the Sisu, but like you could also just play the Robin Hood, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I just figured. I think I wanted to start drawing
cards,
from my deck more.
Yeah, but also considering that you could kill his Smee and then threaten the Sisu, and it's good. It's good.
Yeah, I think Clarabelle's a very strong card.
Yeah, he needs to have 2 pieces of removal now to deal with the Clarabelle. Oh, see again. I wonder if I would just maybe play that Smee. Okay, never mind.
Here comes the tomato.
The tomato.
Popsicle.
Okay, so now you can kill the dragon, but then he kills your... But I think you're okay with that, honestly. You're probably very okay with him putting the Tamatoa into your...
I think so, yeah. I definitely want him to deal some damage on it.
Or Bruno?
Muses.
Oh, Muses is so good with... Oh my good god, if you had You're Welcome here in this situation...
Oh, yeah.
You ink You're Welcome...
Beautiful, yeah.
the Tamato, and then bounce the Sisu quest for 2, draw fucking 3 cards.
Exactly. No, instead I have a Diablo.
Are you playing You're Welcome?
No, I was not.
Okay, yeah. See, so it's interesting because I don't think you can afford to leave home with Clarabelle in your deck and not have You're Welcome.
Well, you see here I did 3 damage to the Tamatoa and bounce the Sisu back.
Yeah, I guess now he can't go off. He is playing Steel, but he can't... you quest for 2? No, you use that to sing? Oh my god, yeah. Oh my god, what are you drawing? So many cards. Yeah.
Clarabelle's so good.
Yeah. And you're not playing
when you don't play her, you forget her, and then you see her, and you're like, "Wow, that's a great card."
No, but that's legitimately what I was telling you when you got here. It's like I just want to put Clarabelle and Diablo in every deck. Yeah. I just want to do it so bad.
Sense,
I don't know if you saw the message I posted on. I was playing on Sunday, like just for a fun game after the leagues were done. Turn 2 1 jump, turn 3 ink to 4, so play Quill, then ink with Quill, and then 1 jump. And then next turn, drop my hand to 7 ink and played Clarabelle, draw 4 cards. Then the next turn, I Kit and Mother Knows Best hit him.
Okay.
Past the turn, he had 7 cards and I drew 6. So I drew 10 cards in 2 turns.
Yeah, that's crazy.
By turn 5.
Yeah. I think you just win.
Well, yeah.
So here, yeah, good play by Gabe, healing the Tamatoa.
And then attacking.
And
then attacking.
And attacking the Clarabelle.
Here it's sad times if the Clarabelle dies, but you're probably also kind of okay with it because he already drew you 6 cards.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think about how, my god, that's pain.
Yeah.
Of all the cards that had
seeing the Tinkerbell come down, yeah. That's rough.
Sometimes I think, I gotta get 12 cards off Clarabelle. If you think about...
and he played the Popsicle to heal him, so I couldn't finish him off with my Muses.
Damn, that's rough. That might be the turn.
Yeah, it looks like, Well, I know, I do remember I did have a pretty good follow-up here.
Oh, jeez, he's going all the way in.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just to say it fast with Clarabelle, it's like, if you think about Let the Storm Rage on or Friends on the Other Side, right, you pay 3 to draw 2.
Yeah.
The card basically just, if it draws you 2 and then 2 again, like even 4 cards, right, and it quested for 2 or 4, and it killed something, or it's saying, That's so much value. You know, like, you don't necessarily need to draw 40,000 cards off Clarabelle. Sometimes just drawing two turns in a row, two turns in a row is fantastic. I mean, that's like 6 cards.
Oh yeah, I think just being able to cycle through your deck a bit faster, no matter what, is better. Because even if if it just means having those 2-3 cards at the top maybe that aren't so great, get into your hand so that you can get through them to get to the better cards lower down that's the play. What does he do here? What do I do here?
Okay. Is it too low? Okay, well, 2 garbage shorts. It's good. Honestly, one of the most feels bad moments is playing like when you're, do I ink this Ursula or do I play it? And you choose to play it and they have no songs. It actually feels really bad because then you have to ink something else.
Yeah.
You basically discarded yourself. Unless you're playing purple and you can shift, I guess. Make out your inking your whole deck here. I guess, yeah, just to keep going, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, a lot of value on both sides, I think.
Yeah, just pain that he can quest with Hamatoa to bring back Popsicle and keep healing, right?
Yeah, keep healing, keep drawing.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting for anybody who plays Magic. I feel almost as if your green steel deck is kind of like Jund, which is like a grindy kind of deck that, attacks the hand and 1-for-1s a lot, and then you end up in the situation where you're playing the control decks and you're top decking one at a time, but then they're top decking all these cards that draw them cards, and you're just sitting there drawing your 1 card per turn, watching them draw 3 cards per turn.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I think in this case, it's sometimes you want to go, like, that you have to go more aggro, but you just can't. Oh wow, and he top decked the manor.
Jeez. Do you guys notice the table shake that much when you're playing, or is it?
No, I think this is just the camera. Yeah.
I think we're gonna use the tables out in the other room. They're more solid, I think. They're not these foldable tables.
Yeah.
This is crazy. It's okay. Starting with set 6, everything will be different.
He heals again.
Yeah. He's feeling good behind those heals. I mean, 2, 6, 7. You can kill it, right? It costs your whole board, but you can kill it.
Yeah.
But then the McDuck Manor is there.
Yeah, that's just an impressive.
Jeez, he's got 6, 7. He's got 7 lore on board. That's insane, actually. You really need to have damage cards. But yeah, you inked a lot. But again, you had to do it to do the things like to play the Clarabella was necessary, right? To play the Tink last turn it was necessary. It's just now that it's all said and done, it feels bad to look at the ink pool of 7, knowing that you desperately need to do stuff now.
Yeah, I think deep down I was probably always hoping for a small Clarabelle at some point to be able to shift, so I didn't have to ink up all the way to 7.
Oh, yeah. How many were you playing at this point?
I believe only 2 or 3.
Yeah. Two. I do see 2 a lot. I think even in my blue-green, I'm playing only 2, but that's different because you're ramping with. So you can get to Clarabelle on turn 5 without.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so definitely need to work on the... It's good to see these videos now, actually. It's good because I need to work on maybe a bit of, obviously better quality camera. I need to work on the glare and you need to work on this table. So 3 easy places to adjust.
Yeah, the ad, yeah.
What kind of ad was it? Is someone's life exposed?
I mean, I believe this was your phone, Mark. So
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I guess it's looking pretty rough, right, from your end, even though it's a tie game.
Yeah, I think just the muses, unfortunately. Oh, there's the Bruno.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That lets you kill his Tinkerbell.
Yeah, but unfortunately I have to trade the Tinkerbell into the Tinkerbell, and if I don't hit the Tamatoa here, I guess at this point too, I didn't know that in his hand he has the Mufasa.
Oh yeah. I think you actually called me over at this point because you're trying to figure out with the muses how it works.
Yeah. So no, in this case, I believe what the song resolves, and then
you can bounce it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's that whole bag, right? So you play the card, then all the things that trigger go into the bag, and the bag waits for the initial card to finish resolving.
Right.
And then the triggers happen active player first. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So... Oh.
Oh, I guess free-handed it here. Oh, that was the Mufasa.
What are you more afraid of, Mufasa or Tamatoa in this situation?
Probably the Mufasa.
Even though he was only one card in his hand?
Yeah, I think the Mufasa just allows you to double play, which is pretty strong. But
yeah, I think in this situation, for sure.
Both Mufasa's feel bad, I guess. So.
Well, Tamatoa could threaten the potential for the game to end, whereas Mufasa, again, his ability, the card just says, you leave me alive for a turn, you lose the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a long one. We definitely let you guys go because the game was too good. I think for it looked like you guys were in a really serious, intense game. So
yeah, well, we were. I think for Green Steel to have almost 10 ink out is pretty unheard of.
See, but also, did you just ink the beast? Again, I wonder why, right? Why ink the beast there? Why not just?
Because I wanted. Yeah, I think it was more because I wanted to play the We Don't Talk About Bruno, and then if I remember correctly, though, I believe I had 2 beasts in my hand or something like that. I remember at the end of this game, I end up just putting out 2 beasts at one point. So it's unfortunate we can't see my hand, but yeah, I was just pretty sure I was going all in on just hoping to get the beasts out.
Mm. Yeah. Dude, I guess you can't even afford to attack the location because he gets so much value off of his Tinkerbell. I think you have to attack it though, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how many cards you have in your hand?
At this point, my best guess would be about 2 to 3, maybe.
Because same again, right? If you had another beast in your hand,
I had 2.
Because next turn you could ink the 10 and then play double beast, unless you have 2 beasts. You had 3 beasts in your hand.
It's possible. Yeah, I do remember I got a whole bunch out at one point, so it's possible. I think that was my next play. I was just hoping to get an inkable card off the top and then just put down 2 beasts and let him deal with it.
Okay, because okay. That beast didn't put you to 10; it put you to 9.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was gonna say if it put you to 10, you might as well just wait one more turn, right? Because in the worst case, just do it next turn. But yeah, attack the location. Yeah, you're not racing that card. It's a lot of ink.
For a green steel deck, yeah, that's yeah. Here comes the Tamatoa.
The toe is quite large.
Yeah, so he still has 2. Yeah, see, for 1 he plays.
It's rough. It's so crazy how you can read Ursula and read the Muses and these cards are insane. And then you could look at this board and be like, well, my 2/4, my 1/3 can't do nothing. They do nothing.
I think they're very strong early game, but
oh yeah, there you have it.
The double beast. Yeah, I think I just went all in here, hoping that okay, good luck dealing with
Well,
especially considering I think he only has 2 cards in his hand.
Yeah, and if it's not another freaking damage card, you are drawing 3 next turn.
Yeah.
1 for turn.
Yeah.
1 for each beast.
Which made a pretty good position. Yeah, bump it up to 6.
Yeah, so now you're just hoping for no removal. No damage, no nothing. Just play a 1 jump ahead or a Mickey Mouse, right?
That's the dream.
Like one time, please, sweet justice. Okay.
Fire the cannons on the beast.
You guys need to respect the art and put the dice on the text box.
Well, now that we're all trying to foil out our decks, I think we will.
Sometimes people, they use their damage cards and then they like, I'll do it on this.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, can you, like, I try to be so polite to you. Can you just, like, please not poke? And I get this look like I'm a villain for asking this. And it's just like, I don't understand. Like, we just not poke the cards. Just keep the fingers away from the...
The grab swords.
This is where you go and you find good food and you forget that this game exists. And,
that felt bad. Especially that the beast doesn't take out Tamatoa.
That's true.
With the 7 attack. Right?
Hidden Cove.
Yeah, I mean, if the Hidden Cove comes out, that'd be... But,
that would be glory.
I have no cards in my hand at this point, and it's a morph. Yeah.
Well, I wonder if you just quest. I guess you have to kill that thing. It's just free. It's just a free kill. Yeah.
Well, I think at this point it was more that did I have to do that, or maybe was the play to just put both beasts in the Tamatoa and hope? But I guess it doesn't really matter if he just plays something else really big here.
Well, I think you should have at least quested with that beast. Unless you're why you don't want to, because why? I wonder.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, he's probably on a tunnel vision to 20 kind of plan, right?
At this point, yeah, you're probably right.
Well, okay, well.
There's the dime.
That's just now you're just being a nice guy, letting him do this. Because I mean,
I don't think I even saw it, but yeah, I think he just gets the win here, right? Yeah.
He has to play
3, 4, and then he he just plays another item, he dimes and he wins. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
That's game.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's if I was able to, maybe that was the play actually. I messed up maybe right at the end. I should have put both beasts into the Tamatoa.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
And left the and what did he have in his hand there? He had another dime, the Sisu.
My God, okay, the Tinkerbell would have.
Oh, he had a Tinkerbell in there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think.
But I had a Zeus next.
Oh my God. Okay. Whoa. So interesting. Yeah. So
wasn't. Yeah. Maybe that was more of a.
That was the play. It was double beast into. I
guess I would have played the Tinkerbell, which would have left the Manor alive for turn. But that's not terrible. I could have maybe gotten back in some way. But I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, whatever, it happens again. Like, I think despite the some interesting decisions or misplays and on both sides, I think it's still a good game. Yeah, still a lot to learn from it.
I remember it was a fun game, but
and obviously a good intense long game with no clear outcome until basically the end there. So that's really good. Yeah. All right, well, I mean that's pretty much it for the first video. We have about 6 or 7 more coming. We're gonna try to get them out twice a week, probably, just to get them in before set 6. And then probably cool down into a once per week kind of schedule. But anyways, if you stick around, much more to come, and I'm pretty excited.
Sounds good. Yeah.
I know Remy will be doing some commentary also, so you'll be hearing his voice too in the future. But we'll do one more probably with Phil, and if you come back, well, you're always welcome. So all right, see you guys next time, and
see you later.
Yeah.